The graphs of f and g are given. Find an equation for the function g. In all of the previous problems, we were given the equations for the functions, and we needed to figure out what the graphs would be using transformations. Now we're given the graphs, and we need to figure out the equations. We can see very clearly that f of x looks like the square root of x. It starts at the origin, goes through 1, 1, 4, 2, and 9, 3. So f of x seems to clearly be the square root of x. Somehow, though, we have to transform this to turn it into g of x. So first, it looks like we might have a horizontal shift to the left 7 units because the original endpoint and the new endpoint are 7 units apart. So how do we do a horizontal shift to the left 7 units? Well, we know that we have to replace x with x plus 7 to shift horizontally to the left 7 units. That would give us the square root of x plus 7. If we take each of these points individually and we shift them to the left 7 units, we're going to get this point, and then this one here, and then if the next one moves to the left 7 units, it's going to be there, and then the next one is going to end up being here. And so the graph we would get if we shift to the left 7 units looks something like this. Now, our graph consists only of points above the x-axis, but we know that we need to move them down below. And we're not shifting, because if we were shifting this below, we'd still get a graph that's increasing from left to right, whereas this one's decreasing from left to right. So it looks like what has happened is we have a vertical reflection. To do a vertical reflection, we need to replace the function with the negative version of the function. So replace the function that we have with the negative version of the function, and that would give us negative square root of x plus 7. It looks like this is a reflection, but let's check and see what happens to the individual points when we reflect them. This one is 3 units above the x-axis. If we go 3 units below the x-axis, we get this point here. This one is 2 units above. If we reflect it to 2 units below, we get this point here. This one is 1 unit above. If we reflect it below, we get this point here. And of course, any point on the x-axis is unaffected when we do a vertical reflection. And so by following those points, we see that they are on the new graph that we need. And so this is indeed the set of reflections that gives us the right graph. So we can conclude that the equation for this graph is going to be g of x equals the negative square root of x plus 7. So that is the equation for the function g.